When a family finds out their parent has been approved for Medicaid long-term care benefits, the first feeling is usually relief. The immediate crisis is solved. The cost of care is covered. However, what most families are not told in that moment is that Medicaid does not simply absorb those costs. After your parent passes away, the state has the legal right to file a claim against their estate to recover every dollar it spent on their care, including, in many cases, the family home. Hi, I'm Chuck Roulette. I'm an estate and elder law attorney licensed in both Florida and in Minnesota. And if you haven't already, make sure you click the like and subscribe button so you'll be notified when I post new videos like this one. And if you stay until the end, I'll share some resources where you can discover more. Now, every state in the country that is partnered with the federal government is required by federal law to operate a Medicaid estate recovery program. That means after a Medicaid long-term care recipient passes away, the state files a claim against the deceased person's estate to recover the cost of care Medicaid paid on their behalf. And here's the contrast that surprises families most consistently. While your parent is alive and on Medicaid, the family home is generally exempt. Medicaid does not count it as an asset, and the nursing home cannot force a sale, so the home feels safe. However, after your parent passes away, that protection disappears. The home becomes part of the estate. Then the estate's recovery claim attaches to the estate and thus to the family home. So the same house that could not be touched during your parents' lifetime can now be required to be sold to repay Medicaid. And the details of how estate recovery works, they differ between Florida and Minnesota, and the differences matter. In Florida, Medicaid estate recovery goes after the probate estate. Now, this is significant because assets that pass outside of probate may not be subject to the estate's recovery claim. So a home held in a properly structured trust may fall outside of Florida's recovery program. In Minnesota, however, the recovery rules are broader. Minnesota's program can pursue claims against both probate and certain non-probate assets in some circumstances. And this is why Minnesota families need to be especially proactive about advanced planning. The protections that work in Florida do not at all translate into Minnesota. Now, both states do recognize something called hardship waivers, situations where enforcement of the recovery claim would cause undue hardship. However, these waivers are narrow, they must be formally requested, and they are not guaranteed. Now, there are three primary legal tools that can help protect the family home from Medicaid estate recovery. First is a Medicaid Asset Protection Trust. Transferring the home into a properly structured Medicaid Asset Protection Trust at least 60 months, 5 years, before a Medicaid application removes it from the estate and from recovery. The parent can typically continue living in the home. Second, in Florida specifically, is something called a ladybird deed. Under Florida's current Medicaid rules, property transferred by a ladybird deed passes outside of the probate estate and is generally not subject to estate recovery. Now, that being said, for reasons that go beyond the scope of this video, I do not recommend ladybird deeds to my clients. In fact, for most people, a trust will be the better planning strategy. Be sure to check in because I'll be discussing why I do not recommend ladybird deeds in a future video. Third is strategic asset planning with an elder law attorney. In some circumstances, other structural approaches and planning strategies can protect against estate recovery depending on the specific family situation, your assets, and state rules. Now, all of these must be put in place before a Medicaid application is filed. The families who protect their homes are the ones who plan in advance, not the ones who react after the fact. So if your family is dealing with any of what I've described today, please don't wait to get a professional set of eyes on your situation. The families who call us early almost always have more options than they expected. The families who wait usually don't. I've put together a free guide called Save Our Home. It walks you through how you can protect your home and savings from long-term care costs. You can download it for free at the link in the description below. I'm also hosting an exclusive online masterclass where I will reveal strategies I use with my private clients and their families to help them protect their home and life savings. And you can sign up by clicking the link in the description below. And if you would like to discover more or to schedule a consultation to discuss your own planning, visit us at roulettelaw.com. I hope you found this video helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming video and the masterclass. Be well.